Baby Yoda has swept the nation, taken the world by storm.
The galaxy.
The galaxy. He became all of us. We all projected ourselves into a little animal thing that we don't know the actual name of his species, holding a little cup. It was great. Even people who don't watch Star Wars were all about Baby Yoda. And we're here at the Geekritique show. I am Jen. This is Dakota.
Hi.
We're going to talk about our thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Not Baby Yoda, just the show, like the show.
Mostly Baby Yoda, though.
Yeah, mainly.
Let's be honest.
The child.
The child, as he's being labeled by toy companies. Understandably, too, because...
Because, Yoda's a name, not a species.
I didn't know where that was going, but I'm happy it just turned right back around to our introductions. Thank you, Jen.
I like to keep you on your toes.
I am on the edge of my seat for Baby Yoda. I actually spent all this morning looking at just like a stream,
compilation of memes.
A compilation of Baby Yoda memes. Yeah,
they're really good.
It's so funny. Some are really corny and like okay boomer jokes.
Well, like even my brother doesn't watch Star Wars. He's never seen like any of them. And like we were sending each other Baby Yoda memes, so I was really happy he was like in on it.
Yo, he's here today. We should get him to watch some Star Wars.
Actually, yeah.
Maybe we should we show him Mandalorian first? I don't even know. That might work because it doesn't have anything to do with anything else.
That's true, actually. It just might work.
Let's get into reviewing season 1 of
Mando.
The Mandalorian. Your thoughts, ultimately? Just gut thoughts. Go.
Love. Love is all you need. Thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. They built on the world. They got some lore in there. They've set it up in a way that it could literally go anywhere from here. Like, I mean, I know that they're looking for his people.
It can literally go anywhere.
It literally can go anywhere. Like, and I just loved that. Like, you never knew, oh, well, this is what's going to happen next week. And I just thought it was great.
And we know that season 2 is coming. Jon Favreau posted on Twitter that season 2 is coming in the fall of 2020. And he posted a picture of a naked Gamorrean guard.
All right. I loved that, like, they were able to tie, like, some Star Wars stuff in, but it wasn't like every week was a reference, like, to the origin story of, like, Han Solo, or, like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, they didn't try so hard to make it about, like, the original series or anything like that a ton, Like, I like that it was detached because it makes the galaxy feel larger. Absolutely.
I think that they were able to touch on lore in a way that even the cartoon shows weren't able to fully grasp, I feel.
Well, this is just a ton more mature, I think.
And it didn't have to do with the Jedi and necessarily... I mean, it did have to do with the Force, but we don't... They didn't even use the word the Force in the entire show.
Yeah, and then they called the Jedi enemies, which I was like...
We don't fully know what happened with the Mandalorians. They only just started touching upon it by the end of the series, or by the end of the season. We also don't know what the Mandalorians know or understand about the Jedi, because they were, like, supposedly enemies of the state by the end of Revenge of the Sith. And this takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi. I thought that setting was perfect for the show because the stormtroopers and the Empire are still just clinging on to their power, clearly. They still have... They still work as almost like a very strong gang in the galaxy. Instead of like the Hutts, it's the Empire. The Empire's the gang now.
Yeah.
I thought they were able to get away with some stuff that you wouldn't expect you wanted, like stormtrooper banter.
Yeah, that was actually hilarious.
Even in the last episode, I thought that was fantastic. So let's talk about some of the characters, some of their arcs in the show. Oh wait,
can I talk about one thing first? I want to talk about the fact that I've been telling Dakota for so many years that, like, we need to come up with, like, a house crest. Like, his, like, last name has its own crest, where there's, like, a ton of his, like, people with his last name. I think we should have our own. And when I saw that Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian were a house of 2, or a gang of 2, or whatever she called it, a clan of 2, and they had their own logo, I was like, this is so legit, and this is all I've ever wanted for me and Dakota and Luna. That's all I want.
Luna's our dog.
Yes. And, like, they had one, and I was really jealous.
It was a cool logo, too.
Yeah, it was dope.
It was really cool the way they did that. Characters. Let's just kind of, like, go one by one. Talk about, like, where they started in the show, where they ended in the show, and, like, do you feel like their characters' arc was strong enough for the series? And I guess we could start with Mandalorian, because he is the main character.
I love that he didn't take his helmet off for a living being the entire show long, because you were literally just kind of waiting for his helmet to come off, and I was like,
but he did, though. He took it off for the girl. He wanted her to see him.
Oh, that's true, but she just happened to not look up.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah, that was like almost like a test. Like, if you look at me, I'm pretty much gonna give up whatever I'm doing to spend my life with you.
Oh,
Because it worked. It worked. But
Mando, you beautiful, beautiful bastard. We love you.
I like that. I also like that he didn't, give up his.
It's almost like
creed
his
for that.
his relationship with Baby Yoda like strengthened his resolve to keep living the Mandalorian lifestyle.
And we're gonna keep calling him Baby Yoda, even though he isn't actually Baby Yoda. So.
Yeah, it's just what else? Like, I'm like, it seems like a name, more like a name than the child. I'm not gonna call him that.
Yeah.
They have to give that boy a name though.
Let's call him
Or
Yeater.
girl. Do we know what gender it is?
They keep calling him a him.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm guessing he pees standing up.
Just picturing him like against like a little bush. His little ears.
His whole arc was so cool. I thought the use of the Mandalorian lore and kind of twisting it to like make it less of I mean, it is a race, but it's also a creed. And for him, it was the creed. It was the code that he was running by, and I thought that was so cool. What about Cara Dune?
Yeah, I liked her. I liked that they didn't try to make it like a romance.
Yeah.
Like, I was like worried, like, oh great, a male and a female character are together all the time. Of course they have to be like one's in love with the other or something, but it wasn't.
Right, it wasn't
and
like
I thought that was
at all.
dope.
She was helping him out.
Yeah, and it wasn't like they were overly trying to like shove the feminist agenda, like, oh, she's a strong woman. Like, she just was, and that was awesome.
I didn't find that there was any agenda.
Yeah, there
at all.
wasn't. It just, she felt like a real character, and that's like what I want my female characters to be. Like, yeah, strong, and yeah, independent, and like, no, like, not like some crazy like huge weakness. Like, I feel like a lot of times they'll give them some like crazy weakness to try to make them like relatable, but then like really good at everything else or something. I was like, she was a really well-rounded character that we don't know a ton about, but felt super real and like awesome. She was like really just great.
I think that goes along with the idea that like the less you explain about a character, the more you understand them.
The more authentic they feel. Because it's not like I meet someone and I say, hey, like, my name's Jen and this is my life story so you can understand me. It's like, no, people just meet me and they see my reactions to things, and that's how you get to know me. It's not like I'm going to tell you every single like thing that happened in my life, because that would be super random and weird. So yeah, I think I really liked what they did with her character.
What about Queel the Ugnaught?
We
He has
miss you.
spoken.
He has spoken. I love on Reddit, like, someone will say, like, I've spoken, and everybody will comment that, and it becomes, like, a big thing of, I've spoken.
And then the first person to break the thread is, like, cast out from the community.
Yeah. No, it's also, too, like, there's, like, a random person in the lot that you just downvote for no reason, but they'll get, like, 50 downvotes, and it's hilarious.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
Everything.
I support that.
Balanced.
Yes, as all things should be. I liked his faith in the droid and his connection with animals, especially with Baby Yoda. Like, we would have never known that Baby Yoda didn't have healing abilities if he hadn't been perceptive. He was very perceptive, and I think he moved the plot forward quite well.
Did you know that Queel's blurgs, his like
Things that he wrote?
those beasts, they were first introduced in like the really crappy Ewok spin-off movies from like the 80s.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
They were in there, and they were called blurgs, and they looked exactly like that.
That's
so
sick.
That's a funny little callback to that.
My coworker
non-canon
said that
legends.
he was watching that with his wife, and that she kept calling them toes and was really grossed out by them. Like, she like couldn't get over it.
What about IG-11?
I loved him. Yeah,
he
I thought
turned
he
out
was
to be
great.
one of the best
But
characters.
he was
in
a
the show.
nurse. I like that, like, in the beginning, we all wanted to see him, like, seriously go to town, right? Just because, like, you know, we all knew about him,
Right.
so it's like...
Oh, actually, it's actually not IG-88. IG-88 from, like, the original trilogy and IG-11 are two different
Oh,
characters.
there's no different numbers.
Yeah.
But still, they're the same, like, make,
They're the same
right? So, yeah, that's
IG,
true. It's not the
yeah.
same exact droid, but, like, I wanted to see him go, like, to town. But in the beginning, where he just, like... he doesn't really get that opportunity, you weren't really expecting him to come back. And I think that is another thing too, like, you didn't know where it was going, right, the show, but they kept bringing back characters from before, and it never felt like they had to, but it always felt like there was a reason, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like I just thought it was like it came full circle quite well.
I feel a lot of people wanted it to be less episodic and more serialized, which is what most of the like TV that we watch nowadays is, especially like the bingeable stuff. but I liked that it fell back onto more episodic television, where each episode was a contained story. And I mean, they did have like an overarching story throughout the series, and it's protecting this child, the baby Yoda. But like, and there were some duds in there. Like, I think the episode, I forget the name of the episode, but the one where they have to free the prisoner with that gang of misfits, I thought was kind of corny.
That one?
Yeah.
I love that one.
All
I was
right.
like just about to say the one with Tonks and the comedian. I thought that was great. I loved that episode. Are you crazy?
I thought it was really corny.
I just want to slap him silly sometimes. I just want to... You're crazy. He's crazy. Leave it in the comments. Dakota, you're crazy.
What did you think of that episode?
I loved that episode. I thought that was great.
All right.
Yeah, I think too, like, I'm so happy that they decided to release it on a weekly basis. Tell me you don't agree. You love the fact that you could watch it every Friday, you had something to look forward to at the end of the week, and then you had, like, the whole week to talk about it and speculate and, like,
Absolutely.
say different thoughts.
No, that was
I've been
fantastic.
saying it forever. Binging is out. Like, it's dumb. Like, I love this.
Here's the thing. Another huge show right now is The Witcher. It was just released last week. And
now it's over.
It's over. Everyone will have had to watch the entire show so that they can, stay abreast on the conversation online. And the conversation's going to go another week maybe, and then
it's over.
It's over until the second season.
Think of all the memes we could have gotten if we had a week to stew on each episode and make memes out of each episode.
Right.
Like a meme that hasn't happened yet that should have in The Witcher is, do you know how many people wouldn't blink or something if you died? It's like that woman said it to Yennefer, and I was like, that's a meme waiting to happen. Never happened. If that was in that same line was in an episode of The Mandalorian, that would have been a meme. Easy.
Absolutely. And I think,
and I don't know how to make memes, so I can't do it.
Episodic television, where it comes out on a weekly basis, is so much stronger because of that ability to, like, have that water cooler talk at your job or on the internet.
Yeah, every week on Monday we all came in and we're talking about Mandalorian,
Exactly.
and I loved it.
Exactly. So Disney has a definite hit on their hands with Mandalorian. Happy that they're coming out with a second season soon. Let's talk about Baby Yoda.
Baby
Yoda. Wow. It's one of the things that you never, as a Star Wars fan, never expected or wanted to ever see, but it worked so incredibly well. It almost, like, if this was the only thing in the new canon and we hadn't gotten a trilogy of films or any of the Star Wars stories, this almost would single-handedly just reboot the franchise. I don't think it necessarily needs rebooting. I mean, it's going to make $1 billion in a film. But the fact that this one character has, like, brought so many people together in their love for... And like, yeah, I've seen so many memes, like, if anyone touches Baby Yoda, I'm going to, call it quits.
and that guy kept punching him. I was getting so upset. I was so mad, and I just kept waiting for him to come out and choke the guy.
Yeah.
Choke him, Baby Yoda. Choke him. I think I love too the meme where it's like him turning on the radio and it's like a rap song.
Oh, that's so
good. And
good.
then DeLorean shuts it off and then he turns it back on.
I can't play it here because of copyright.
Yeah, but it's funny. I think a strength, especially with a character like Baby Yoda, like, is the ambiguity. Like, okay, so we really don't know anything about him. We don't know what they were trying to do with him. We know that he needs to be protected. We know that he doesn't really know where his people are, where he came from. They didn't give him a name, and they didn't try to explain all of that. I just think, like, the biggest strength of this show is the ambiguity, because now they have so much room to do so many things moving forward.
That's a good point. And there's so much to speculate upon what they need Baby Yoda for. Obviously, it has something to do with cloning. We've seen multiple times the guy has the Camino logo on his arm, so the cloning center. I think that's fascinating, as well as the fact that the Empire wants to use cloning. Could that have anything to do with the Rise of Skywalker and the fact that Palpatine's back? Because they didn't actually answer that in the Rise of Skywalker. It could be a number of things.
Yeah, I just think that was like their decision not to explain everything to us was a really smart choice, and I loved it. So, all right, strengths, tons of strengths. We could all talk about the strengths forever. What do you think the weaknesses are on the show?
Well, I spoke about some of it already. Is some of the episodes I felt were a lot weaker than other episodes. I'm not saying that they were necessarily bad. There were some things about those episodes that I thought were either corny or it kind of felt like filler to the actual main story, because you think about the story of the Mandalorian and you think of the first 3 episodes and the last 3 episodes, and then the 2 in the center kind of just were there. That's not to say that they were bad. It was just kind of like the middle point in a season. And I will say that the 8 episodes that we got was like just enough to like whet our appetites for season 2. It was just enough to get to understand the show, to get the full impact of the show. I love how powerful they made Baby Yoda, and I love.
But then he falls on his little butt
every time. Yeah, he's just like, ugh. I love that.
Back. It's so cute.
I love that. I will say at first I definitely disliked the music.
Really, I love the music.
At first I disliked it. I really love Goranson as a composer. I think that his work in Black Panther and the Creed movies was super well done. But I will say that his work on Creed heavily influenced his work on Mandalorian. It's like he decided to take the Apollo Creed theme and push it into like a Western setting with like a Western twinge. And I think it must be that they used his music as temp music for the episodes, and the director's like, actually, I want some more of that.
Yeah, that actually sounds about right.
I mean, it would make sense.
I really liked the music for the Creed films. I like, even so much that I would like listen to it in my spare time and like run to it, which I'm going for a run after this, and I might put that on. But yeah, I think that's why I'm totally biased as far as the music goes, because of how much I loved it.
I love the Creed soundtrack. I just wish this had a unique soundtrack.
Okay.
But
like the theme is pretty iconic. Dun, 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 dun.
Yes.
Like you could, like I'm hearing it in my head right now, and I'm like, it is really iconic.
It is.
And
yeah.
I think it'll withstand the test of time, which is what all Star Wars music like needs to do.
I will say every episode I was just angry, and this is a nitpick on my part. I understand that. I was angry at the intro to the Star Wars logo for Disney Plus. I thought it was weak. I thought it was visually unappealing. It looked like Lego Star Wars to me, and the music didn't reference Mandalorian or John Williams themes. So it was like, it just felt like the Spider-Man's the original like Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy theme put over like, you know, a quick rendition of like Star Wars Lego pieces, and that was like the Star Wars logo. I thought it was just, they could have done so much more with that, and I felt that was really uninspired. And every episode I was like, man, they gotta update this. Yeah,
we kept waiting for it to change, and it didn't.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I really love this series. This is probably my favorite show of the year.
Yeah, easily.
I think so. I haven't watched Watchmen. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to say that's probably the show of the year.
Yeah, that's true. We majorly slapped in that department.
We can watch it next year.
That's true.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to check out some of our other reviews, we have reviews for The Rise of Skywalker. We reviewed the last couple episodes of Doctor Who, Series 11, because we finally got around to that. We reviewed The Witcher, so you can check that out and more right over here. But please don't forget to subscribe if you liked our content, and like the video if you want to see more. Thank you guys.
Bye.